Testing. Good evening.
Good evening.
A very good afternoon and good evening to all the participants. I would like to welcome the President, Dato' R. Ramanathan, President of KLCK, and then our respective speakers, Puan Masliza Zainal Abidin, Head of Marketing and Research, Unit Guarantee Schemes Management, Prohas Sundran Berhad, who's our speaker from SJPP today, and then Ms. Teresa Tan, Vice President of CIMB Bank under SME section, and then Ms. Sangeeta Krishna, Assistant Branch Manager, CGC Malaysia Berhad of KL Branch, as well as our KLCK Executive Committee, ESCO, Management Council members, KLCK members, and all non-members, as well as other participants who are here with us today. Welcome to the Zoom session of Bank Negara Malaysia's Targeted Relief and Recovery Facility for the SMEs, as well as CGC's financing product for startups and women entrepreneurs. The program today was actually planned in view of the budget 2021, where the government recently in the tabled and approved budget has allocated a substantial funds, especially for the SMEs as well as the micro entrepreneurs, under a few different categories. So we have actually invited three different important partners to actually brief all the members and non-members who have participated in our program today to understand better on these programs. An overview of our program today, we will have an session first from SJPP. Thereafter, we will have CIMB and then CGC. What today we are going to be talking about is more on the BNM's allocation of 3 billion plus, especially on the targeted recovery and relief facility, which is allocated up to 2 billion with approximately 12 private financial institutions, as well as BNM's allocation in CGC for the BIS Mula for startups, as well as for the women entrepreneurs BIS Vanita, and the BNM's guarantee schemes under the existing guarantee schemes from Penjana that is allocated in SJPP. So we will have our respective speakers who will be briefing us today on the current status as well as on the application procedure, eligibility, and the company's marketability in obtaining this particular facilities to leverage and empower the business after the bad corona year last year that has impacted many businesses. So we are actually going to discuss about all these funds which are also available to the businesses that has been chronically affected by the coronavirus last year, especially the tourism and tourism related sectors. Let us start with our first speaker, because our president is not free at this moment. He'll join us later. So let us start with our first speaker. Without further ado, I would like to invite Puan Masliza Zainal Abidin, Head of Marketing and Research, Unit Guarantee Schemes Management of Berhad Sdn Bhd from SJPP, to brief us on the available facilities that SJPP is undertaking today. And thereafter, we will go to the next two speakers, and we will keep the Q&A sessions to the last section. So all the participants, please keep your Q&A sessions so that we can share towards the end of the section. Let the presenter present the information that are crucial and essential, and then we take on the last part on the Q&A sessions. If you have anything, let's make this Zoom more interactive later. You just post the questions in the message, and we will highlight that later to the respective speakers. So we will start with the first speaker, Puan Masliza. Puan.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Nivas. Hello, everybody. Mr. Nivas, thank you again for inviting us. Yeah, I remember our last event together with KL Selangor was last year before the COVID lockdown. Actually, if you can remember, that was last year. A very enjoyable session that we had. And so I think I'm going to try and share my screen. But in the meantime, Mr. Nivas, if you can allow me to share my screen. Whilst you are doing that, I just give a quick introduction to everybody. Hello, good afternoon. Vanikam, my name is Masliza and I am from Syarikat, Jaminan, Pembiayaan, Perniagaan, Berhad. Ya. Sikit panjang sikit the name. For short, we call it SJPP. And why is because, well, you know, in the government, the longer the name, the more important you are. But that is just a light way of saying that hello for all of you who are not familiar with SJPP. We are actually a company owned by Ministry of Finance, yeah, and we have been around since 2009, and we were created to actually help the government to also implement a stimulus package. Back then, there was an economic recession as well, whereby the government also helped to pump in government guarantee schemes so that SMEs like yourself that are facing problems trying to get credit facilities can actually try to use government guarantee schemes so that they can get the credit facility and help them sustain during this tough time. So similarly, we have been around since 2009 all the way until now because the government guarantee schemes have been widely used for a lot of SMEs throughout the years for different types of objectives. But I'm very happy today I'm very honored for KL Selangor Indian Chambers to invite us again to explain and share with you, get some awareness about what are the guarantee schemes that you can use currently right now, especially during these COVID times and moving forward in 2021, what are the schemes that you can actually use, yeah? Okay, so let me try and share my slides for today. Okay. Okay, so I hope everybody can actually see my slide right now, which is on the cover page, and I believe that you might be getting a copy as well later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend only about 15 minutes I've already explained as to what SJPP really is. Like I mentioned, we are a government owned company, and then I'm going to explain a little bit more about how government guarantee scheme works. This is very important so that you understand the concept of government guarantee schemes. And then there are different schemes that you can use depending on your type of company, your type of business, and the needs that you may have, as well as the applicability period. And then I also look into some of the key features of TRRF. This is a new scheme that the Bank Negara has actually launched on 1st December, whereby at that point in time, a lot of the other previous schemes was fully utilized. For example, some of you are aware about SRF, Special Relief Fund, a special relief facility. So that has been fully taken up, and a lot of companies still feel that okay, I still need a lot of help from the government. So Bank Negara has actually launched TRRF, very new since 1st December. And I'll also be speaking a little bit about PTF, which is Penjana Tourism Financing Facility. Now this, if I'm not mistaken, was launched in August. So it's already available to you. And perhaps some of you are tourists tourist or tourist related businesses. Yeah, so it's not just about the travel agents, but it's also about businesses that relies on travelers and tourist activities. Okay, and then after that we look into a little bit about eligibility criteria. So are you eligible to actually apply? So I will go through the eligibility criteria as well, and then we also look in terms of which banks can you go to. So the first stop is for you to actually go to the banks and get the credit facility. Okay, so let's look in terms of what is actually government guarantee schemes. Apa government guarantee schemes ni sebenarnya actually ya? So if some of you are mainly familiar, we have helped many SMEs, and a lot of people may be familiar with what guarantee schemes, how they work, and some are not really familiar. So let's go through the process. Yeah. So let's say you are in a position right now. Okay, time has been hard. 2020 has been hard. Some businesses have been doing well. Yes, there are businesses that are doing well and want to expand, especially those in F&B, essential services, logistics. Yeah, logistics, delivery kind of businesses, digital marketing and advertising agencies. Some of them have been doing well during MCO and COVID, but most of the companies have not been doing well. Yeah, maybe because there are lesser sales, less traffic, less customers. Even your customers also are not able to actually make payments to you and things like that. So you are facing cash flow problems. So you are in a position whereby you need funding, either for expansion or just to sustain for the next 6 months or for the next 12 months until you are able to recover. So what you do first of all is go to the bank, apply for a credit facility at the bank. Yeah, SJPP, we are not a bank, we are not a fund giver, we are a guarantee scheme manager. So you need to go to our participating banks first. And we are actually having partnership with all the major banks. In fact, all banks in Malaysia, most of them, especially the banks that cater to the SMEs, you can actually go to them to ask for a credit facility that you need. It could be a term loan, it could be an overdraft, revolving credit, and things like that. Whatever is needed for your business, so you apply to them. Now, when you go to the banks will ask you the same information. They will ask you for your credit background. If you're an existing customer, maybe they have some information about you. If not, they will ask you for normal things. They ask about your background, your registration, financial statements. They try to understand your financial profile, registration, and sometimes they ask for debtors or suppliers aging. They ask for a lot of information for you to support the need. So, for example, they may also ask for some invoices, pro forma invoices or contracts and so forth. So you provide the information to them because this is to substantiate your need to actually apply for the credit facility. So the banks will actually review it and say, okay, this is a good SME, this is a good borrower, but they don't have collateral. Tak cukup collateral. Or in the times now, some credit facility already has guarantee schemes attached to the credit facility. Yeah? So, okay, they say, okay, your company is good, but you don't have collateral. You know, sometimes you already have collateral in another bank. You put it in another credit facility. You have none for this credit facility. So what happens if you don't have collateral? Nothing. You cannot get the credit facility, so therefore you are not able to get the funding that you need to grow or to sustain your business, pay your rentals, pay your working capital and so forth. You cannot get it. So this is where SJPP actually comes in. Now the banks realize, okay, this is a good SME, good background, you know, everything's checked out, dia tak ada collateral. So what the banks do is submit your application to us, yeah? So you don't have to come to SJPP office. We're actually a very small office, but you don't have to come to us. The banks will submit the applications to us. And we have worked with banks so that we have even processes in place to expedite for the application. So the banks put the applications to us. We will review it for certain criteria, and then after that, we will then revert back to the banks, approved or rejected for your guarantee scheme application. So once it's been approved, means your credit facility dah ada collateral lah, which is SJPP government guarantee scheme. So then what you do is then the banks will then contact you for the disbursement to finalize everything about your facilities agreement, and you can start to draw down the loan, or you can start to utilize your credit facility. So what happens then? You just pay them the monthly outstanding, or you pay them the installment payments. You pay the bank's interest rate, yeah? Because banks actually lend you. They are the lenders. They give, so they charge the interest rate. But you also have to pay guarantee fees. That is the guarantee fees for the guarantee scheme that is utilized. So all of SJPP government guarantee schemes are the lowest in the market, yeah, not more than 1%. And after this, I'll explain to you, TRRF and PTF are actually the lowest, 0.5% guarantee fees. So that's generally how the guarantee scheme works. So just some key points to remember: go to your bank, speak to your banks. For example, we got Mr. Risa here from one of your banks, so you can actually go and speak to her about credit facility and see whether it can be guaranteed under SJPP. Okay. So next, what is targeted relief and recovery facility? So basically, this is a type of scheme that we actually have, like I mentioned, just implemented by Bank Negara in 1st December. So you apply to the banks for this particular credit facility, and you can use it for any type of working capital only. That means to pay for your rental, salary, to pay for your supplies, but not for capital expansion. You cannot use that. We cannot use TRRF for that type of financing. You can use other type of SJPP schemes for that, but for TRRF, only for working capital, which means your financing facility are normally the term loan or some sort of overdraft facility, as well as other trade facilities like revolving credit and so forth. Now, the guarantee fees, like I mentioned, is the lowest. Now, this is what the Bank Negara has instructed us actually. The guarantee fees must be 0.5%. I know this is a very tough time for a lot of SMEs and businesses. So guarantee fees is only 0.5%, and the coverage is a very higher, 80% coverage for SME companies and 90% coverage for micro enterprises. Now, what is the limit that you can apply for? So under TRF, if you are an SME, you can apply up to 500,000. 500,000. But again, it depends on your needs. Sometimes you don't need 500,000. The banks are not going to lend you 500,000. So, but for some businesses which are very large, they can apply up to 500,000. And for micro enterprises, up to 75,000 only. And the tenure of the credit facility is only for 7 years. Okay, like I mentioned earlier, the source of funds are actually from the financial institutions. So go to them, and the interest rate have been actually set by Bank Negara. So even the banks cannot charge you more. So the interest rate is actually very low, 3.5%, which also includes guarantee fees. So everything is actually included inside here. So who is eligible? So probably you're thinking maybe it's something that's something that you can actually use. So who are actually eligible? Now these are SME defined companies. Yeah. So SME defined companies are the SME standards that we actually use throughout Malaysia. And if you are a manufacturing company, then your revenue should not be more than 50 million, or you have less than 200 full-time employees. For non-manufacturing companies, so services company, if you're F&B or travel agent, you do any type of services and all that. So for non-manufacturing companies, you are an SME if your revenue is less than 20 million or less than 75 employees. Okay, so that's the definition of SME companies. And like I mentioned, it's quite a standard definition that we use for any type of agency and any type of initiative that's been done by the government. So as long as you are an incorporated company, properly registered company, so it could be you register at SSM, as a Sdn Bhd, or even as a sole entrepreneur or a partnership, you can apply for this. Those in Sabah Sarawak, if you actually apply under the state officers, as well as statutory bodies lah, for some professional service providers. Okay, who's the eligible who are the eligible sectors? Yeah. So like I mentioned earlier on, these are for companies that are like into personal services. So this is for laundry, grooming, hairdressing, beauty, manicure, any type of butler services, or even, for example, healthcare services as well. Food and beverage service activities, yes, that's also eligible as well. Human health and social work, arts, entertainment, recreation, as you can see from this list, and business services. So this is like if you do technical consulting or some statistics study, you're a marketing consultancy company, you're also eligible to apply for TRRF. Yeah. And also the last criteria is that you have to be a Malaysian company lah. Must be more than 51% owned by Malaysian company. This is a Malaysian government initiative, so only for Malaysian companies. And also and this is a term that's also set by Bank Negara, if you have received SRF, these are the other schemes that Bank Negara has announced. So if you have received SRF, if you have received Penjana SME Financing, if you have received PTF, Penjana Tourism Financing Facility Scheme, then you cannot utilize this TRRF. So the reason why it's not that the government is being hard, but the reason is that all these schemes ada bagikan that sector, ada bagi that sector, ada bagi. So these are for those yang not included in this, but the government is casting a wider net to help all these other SMEs. Yeah. So I just like to note that for SJPP, the application for TRF is open until 30th June this year only. Until 30th June only. So I do hope that you take the chance to speak to your banks to understand how you can utilize the credit facility for this as well. So let's go to Penjana Tourism Financing Facility. Now, a lot of our schemes here is actually available on our website. It's also available on Bank Negara website as well. So you can get more information and you can review this later. So I don't want to spend too much time on this. But again, for PTF, these are for tourism sector companies. Yeah, if you're looking for working capital and capex, so you want to actually expand your business, do some renovation or increase your computer software and so forth, you can use financing facilities that are related to term loan or overdraft and cash line. Okay, same. It's 0.5% coverage, 0.5% guarantee fees. Very cheap, still the lowest fees with very high guarantee coverage. Financing limit, now this is important, yeah, for SME companies applying for PTF, your limit is actually 300,000. For micro enterprises is 75,000. Yeah. Okay, so for this credit facility, the tenure is up to 7 years and it's also allowed for 6 months moratorium at least. So it is really up to the bank, but they need to give you at least a 6 months moratorium. Okay, so similarly, your interest rate is 3.5%. Go get it from all the banks. 3.5% is including, actually including the guarantee fees. And I believe the guarantee fees are also actually paid by the banks as well. Yes. So for PTF is something a little bit special. So something that you may want to consider, especially for those in travel sectors. Okay. So same, the requirements are the same as long as you're an SME defined company and you're the registered business, and look into the list of eligible sectors. Yeah? So in this case, tourism accommodation, your Airbnb, your hotels, small hotels, 3-star, 4-star, and so forth. Travel agency, transportation, yeah, especially for tour companies that relies a lot on people coming in, even in KL, you're driving them to show them where's Batu Caves, where's KL, drive them to Genting. This is the scheme for you. Tourism related sectors such as medical tourism, if you rely on that. MICE, so these are actually your meetings, conferences, convention centers. This is the scheme for you. As well as other types of tourism related recreation and wellness, as long as you can prove to the bank that your business, your revenue relies on tourism. So for example, you could be a camera shop. Kamera ni tak semestinya travelling most of the time, but so you are actually a camera shop, or you could be just a handbag shop, a craft shop, but you are in Jonker Street and there's nobody coming into Jonker Street during MCO. There's no one going there, So there's a point. You can prove that because you actually rely on tourists coming to your premises to buy things, and because this of the lockdown, COVID, there's a drop in revenue. You can prove that as well. You will be eligible for PTF. So who's not eligible for PTF? Those that have taken SRF and those that have taken Penjana SME financing are not eligible for PTF. Okay, so I hope I'm just going to let a few seconds for the information to sink in, but we also have very good news for SJPP. In the budget 2021, like Mr. Nivas has already mentioned earlier, yeah, so the government has allocated an additional 10 million of additional guarantee to be managed by SJPP in terms of all the schemes that we have. So we are currently waiting for MOF to actually approve this. But what this means is that with additional guarantee, we can actually help to work together with the banks to provide you with further credit facilities. However, I think we will expect a proper launching of full details for how we're going to put this 10 billion. Is it going to be a previous scheme like GGS Berhad? Is it going to be a new scheme? We will be sharing it as soon as we get the approval from MOF. I think it's Ministry of Finance. Yeah? So I think it's any time between later this month or next month. Yeah? So I hope So I hope that feedback was something good and something my presentation as well. Yeah. Okay. So okay. Other than PTF, TRF, some of you thinking, alamak, I don't fall under here, I don't fall under them, macam mana? I've received SRF. So what's the point of me listening to this? Do not worry, yeah, because currently right now, like I mentioned, SJPP has been around since 2000. So SJPP has been around since 2009. So we have existing schemes that you can utilize. Working capital guarantee schemes for women, startup, export, automation and digital facilities. The details are again all in our website. I don't want to spend too much time on it. However, again, some of the key points is to say that the guarantee fees are low, can go up to 10 million in terms of financing limit, certain terms and conditions apply. We also have a 2% rebate, 2% rebate if you are eligible. If you are already an SJPP customer and more than 50% of your revenue is exports, you can get 2% rebate against the interest that the banks have been charging you. So there's some savings there as well. So okay, there's a lot of information there. Feel free to discuss with us either during this session or even afterwards. You can also contact SJPP at any time and get more details of it. And also we are in partnership with all the banks that are actually have been working very closely with us as well and very familiar with our process. Okay, these are our partnering FIs, all of them. So you can see all of them, yeah. Just check out. Let me know if there's bank inside there that's your bank. Then suddenly you go like, hey, my bank is not there. But we feel that this is basically all the banks in Malaysia. Okay, I'm at the end of my presentation. I do understand that, you know, other presenters have their information to share as well. So these are our contact number. Feel free to email us at esjpp@prohas.com.my. We don't really encourage walk-ins to come to office. One, because our office is actually quite small. Again, we're not a bank. But we do encourage you to write to us by email. We will respond to it. My team and I will actually respond to it. Okay, you can also call us to find out for more information as well. And we're also happy to have any discussions that you may need. Okay, so just as a closing, I just want to just leave with a few things. One is when you actually apply for a credit facility, and I've got a banker here, so Mr. Risa. So, you know, when you actually apply for a credit facility, make sure that your financial documents are actually in order. Okay, this is actually very important. The reason why I'm saying this is because all the banks are actually asking, they're not making life difficult for you. They want to substantiate the application for your credit facility. So make sure your financial documents in order, especially the ones that are smaller entrepreneurs. Yeah? Make sure you've got your balance sheet, at least a balance sheet or income statement, management accounts, your bank statements. These are all things that you can easily get online right now. You don't have to go to the bank. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I also want to preempt. Yeah? Some of you are probably already have some credit facility. And now things may be looking good, things may be looking bad, depending on how you see it actually. Depends on how your business is and what you have done. So for those of you that are having problems, you can see problems in trying to repay your credit facility. What I would suggest is speak to your bank right now about repayment assistance. Yeah? Or sometimes you call it restructuring, restructuring, yeah, and rescheduling your payment to see how the banks want to work with you. Nobody wants to see you susah, tak boleh bayar, default. Nobody wants to do that. So the banks together with Bank Negara, AKPK, go to AKPK website. They have financial counselling. This to help you understand, okay, this is all the applications I have right now. What can I do to structure it and make it more manageable for me? Okay. Number three is also to say be positive. Now it's very easy to say, oh, be positive, be positive. And you know, sometimes you can't pay your salary, you can't pay rental, you know, there's a lot of things you have to think about. What I'm trying to say is look into the things that you're able to control. You're able to control your connection with your customers and how you actually try to provide them with the services you need. You have a good connection with the suppliers. Try to work out a good repayment schedule with them. Focus on the things that you can actually control and can help to manage. And when you get all this facility from TRF to PTF, it's not to pay off hutang sana, ambil hutang sini bayar situ, ambil hutang sini bayar situ, and then pening. No, it's so that you can manage your cash flow properly. Lastly, also very important, yeah, which I'm very sorry to say, but when times are tough, there will be scammers. When times are good, there will be scammers also. But when times are tough, people may take advantage. Yeah? And I think, you know, you probably heard stories about that. please be mindful about companies that say, oh, I'm representing this bank. I can confirm I can get this loan for you. I'm representing SJPP. I can confirm I can get this loan for you. Please be wary and use your own judgment and validation to confirm that you're not being scammed. People unfortunately take advantage even during this time. Okay, so I think I think I've taken up quite a lot of time, but I thought it was very important for me to close with those information. And I really hope that we can engage again much better. Ask us any questions, and also like I mentioned, we've got another one of our panel banks with us today. So I'm sure she got to share as well. I would like to wish everybody good luck. Selamat maju jaya ya. Good luck and wishing you all the best and Happy New Year. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Puan Masliza. Thank you. I think a very good presentation about SJPP and its guarantee schemes, as well as all the as well as all the existing SJPP products that Puan Masliza have shared. For all those who have questions, please reserve your questions towards the last session after we complete CIMB as well as CGC sessions. We will take the questions from the floor and address the respective speakers. So without further ado, I would like to invite our next speaker, Ms. Teresa Tan, who is the Vice President under the Product Development SME Banking Malaysia Group Commercial Banking of CIMB Bank, who would be sharing today on the specific product that CIMB is actually advocating on TRRF, which Puan Masliza earlier mentioned. There are about more than 20 participating financial institutions, and one of the institution that is spearheading this today and the funds are still available is CIMB. We have approached multiple other institutions earlier, and we were told that they can't support us in this program because their funds has been exhausted. So CIMB is one of the banks that whose funds are still available, and we rope them in, and we want to ensure that after this program, all those deserving eligible SMEs are able to engage with our CIMB partner to ensure that your application is submitted so that you can get your financing facilities to sustain and make your businesses better. Okay, I will hand over to Ms. Teresa Tan now.
Teresa, you're on mute.
I think Teresa, you're muted. You got to unmute yourself.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, some technical error. So hi everyone, and Happy New Year 2021. It's really a privilege for us to share the TRF program with every one of you. Okay, so this is the first webinar of CIMB SME Banking this year. Okay, so I'm sure Masliza, you have heard Masliza presentation just now, and she has shared a lot of TRF and also the macro level of financing program actually offered by Bank Negara and the government. Okay, so now what we are sharing is to drill down to what the banks, the individual bank is offering. Okay, so 2020 was actually a busy year for us. Okay, so we started with the COVID attack, and then the MCO lockdown. So we have our SRF launched in February last year. Okay, then followed by April, we have a 6-month moratorium. Thereafter, government BNM actually introduced a targeted assistance program for those who need additional assistance after the moratorium has ended. Meanwhile, there are also a few assistance funds launched by the government. For example, Penjana SME and Penjana Tourism Financing, which Masliza has shared. Okay, and this is the latest, the targeted recovery and relief facility. Okay, so my sharing today is focused on TRF. we do not have the information of Perniagaan tourism financing, but we do have the fund available for Perniagaan tourism financing as well. So if you are involved or related to the tourism industry, you can also reach out to us, okay, for the necessary financing. Okay, so I will walk through this quickly because Mas Lisa has shared this pretty detailed. So this is a Bank Negara fund of 2 billion, okay, reach out to the wholesale, retail and services sector, okay, and the purpose is to facilitate your working capital financing of up to 500,000. Okay, the financing rate is very attractive. I would say it's only 3.5% per annum with either CGC or SJPP guarantee. Okay, the guarantee fee is actually embedded in your pricing, so we will take care of the pricing, the guarantee fee for you. Okay, and this is a financing of up to 7 years. With first 6 months, okay, is a moratorium period, means you're not paying any, making any repayment on the first 6 months. On the 7th month only, you start the first installment. Okay, so who are the eligible sector? Okay, so Mas Lisa has shared this as well. So I just walk through quickly. If you're in personal services, F&B activities, okay, human health or social works activity, or you are under the recovery sector, for example, those wholesale retail and business services. Okay, so if you fall under this eligible sector, so the second point to look into is your credit parameter, the bank's credit parameter. Okay, so we have a pretty straightforward credit parameter under this TRF financing. Okay, basically you need to be a 51% owned Malaysian. You pass the bank internal risk rating, because most of the bank are under the program lending right now. So we will have a scorecard engine to assess a customer. Good repayment credit history under the CCRIS record. Okay, a positive tangible net worth company. And if you are under a sole prop or partnership company, your age will be between 21 to 65 years old. Minimum sales turnover of the business is 500,000 a year, or average 42,000 a month. Okay, and last but not least is total working capital of your working capital financing of your company will not exceed 50% of your annual sales turnover. So if you need further information or explanation on these 7 criteria, do reach out to us. I will share my colleagues' contact later. They will give you a further explanation. So just points to take note is this TRF is not open to existing recipient of special relief fund, Perniagaan SME financing, and Perniagaan tourism financing. So you might ask, how do you prove to the bank that I'm not a recipient of these 3 financing? So if you approach the bank, okay, our colleague will give you a declaration form to fill up to say that you are not a recipient, you have not applied from any bank and not approved from any bank. Okay, so in between, during your application process, so if let's say we found out that in your secret record there is an application in this year, unsecured application in this year, so we might need you to furnish a letter offer to prove that this is not these 3 funds that we mentioned above, the SRF, the Perniagaan SME, and Perniagaan tourism. So just let me share some common reason for rejection. The reason why we are sharing this is because the fund is fast depleting. Okay, so and it also has a limit and also a time frame for you to come for submission. We will really hope that you can actually submit your application quickly so that we can reach out to you. And just also to eliminate any common reason for rejection that can cause delay in your application. Okay, so first one is the poor repayment record. So very often we see, if let's say the secrets are shown 3 months, 4 months in areas of certain particular application, so the financing will be declined. So what we actually encourage here is ensure timely payment of your financing, okay, to make sure that all the record is in order. Okay, secondly, if you look down, which is related to the first point, business is disrupted during due to COVID-19. Also because of this, and then my repayment will be my repayment will be late. Okay, then it shows in secrets there's a 2 month, 3 month in areas. So what we want to encourage you here is engage your bank for any payment assistance program. This is also a direction from Bank Negara. Every bank, okay, will open up their payment assistance program to their SME customer. So what we can arrange here is you can actually extend your moratorium. You can also request for a step-up payment. Step-up payment as in you can actually pay partial of your installment during the disruption month. And thereafter, when your business is back to normal, you can repay your full installment. Or you can arrange for rescheduling, means you lengthen your financing or loan tenor so that your cash flow for the moment is not affected. Okay. So we move on to number third is business transaction not reflected in the bank statement. So this is a very common hurdle or difficulties that we see among the SMEs. So I think this is worth sharing today. We can actually understand at point of our site visit or when we engage with customer, the business is viable, the business is busy, is working, but because it is all in a cash transaction, and it is not captured in anywhere of your business viability. So when it comes to bank credit assessment, there's not much of the evidence to prove the business viability to the bank. So because of this, and then the application got declined because we couldn't provide a it couldn't justify a business case. Okay, so what we encourage here is try to pick up the e-payment, okay, because it's a quick and convenient way to capture all your businesses, and this every transaction that you captured is actually an evidence of your business transaction, and also it will reflect your turnover and also your business sustainability in the coming years. Okay. So last but not least is complete application of paperwork. So this is also something that we find it very, it actually can be overcome. If let's say you have all your financial, all your documents ready for submission. For example, your business registration documents, your audited account, your bank statement. So everything is ready at point of application. Then the bank can actually make a sound judgment of your businesses. Okay, so come to this point on incomplete paperwork. This is what we want to walk you through. Okay, the documents needed for TRF submission. So it's pretty straightforward. We need your key person IC, your 6-month bank statement, your business registration document. Okay, latest 2 years audited financial statement. Okay, so it is one booklet because each one booklet of your audited account has 2 years financial. So we just need one booklet. And if you are a sole prop or partnership or LLP, we need your 2 years management account and also your tax receipt, okay, to substantiate your business income. So these are pretty straightforward. Okay, so do engage us quick because as I said, the fund is depleting, and also there is a time frame to the TRF fund. So there is a few ways for you to reach out to us. All right, we have actually appointed 4 teams in our Klang Valley sales SME team to actually assist to you. Okay, you can actually reach out to them, these 4 team. Okay, secondly, okay, you can actually visit website. Okay, go to our e-form, okay, www.cnb.com.my/FRAC. Okay, this is an e-form where you can actually fill up your particulars, fill up your business detail, and what you need to do is upload your 6-month bank statement into the form. This your information will be reached out to our colleague at the number 1, so they will reach out to you. Okay. Or number 3, if you prefer to actually if you have a CIMB bank just next to your office or whatever, if you prefer to go to the branch, okay, what our branch will direct you is to do a scan. I mean to scan a QR code. Okay, this QR code will actually direct you to an e-form, and it will also come to our sales team. So this sales team will actually engage you in a short time period. Okay, so there's a few ways to come to us. Do reach out to us. So if you need more explanation of TRF before you make your application, so I would suggest you can call up our Klang Valley sales team for inquiry. Otherwise, if you're very tech savvy, just proceed with method number 2 and number 3. So either way, we will come to our sales team and we will come back to you shortly. Okay, so this is my sharing for TRF. I will have my colleague Jonathan to share with you on our partnership and solutions. Jonathan, pass to you.
Thank you, Teresa. Hi, ladies and gents. I hope you can hear me clearly. Just give my colleague Farah a second to just get the slides projected. All right, thanks. Teresa, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. Hi, so I'm Jonathan. I'm from CIMB Sme Banking, colleague of Teresa's, and likewise, I wish everyone a happy new year and hope that we are all optimistic despite the times. Farah, can you help me to move to the next slide? Yeah, so basically, I would like to share very briefly about the CIMB Sme Banking Experience, right? This is our elevator pitch. Why do you want a CIMB business current account? Today, we have one of the widest network of branches in the country. We have 229 branches nationwide. On top of that, digitalization of our banking. I mean, we've progressed tremendously. Today, we have this channel at CIMB, accessible both via mobile and web, and it's highly secured. This allows businesses to do their banking on the go. On top of that, we've simplified the sign-up process today for sole props and partnership enterprises. They can actually do 70% of their account opening from the comforts of their home, right? And on top, lastly, we have the debit MasterCard, also which allows customers to SMEs to DIY as much as possible their banking. I mean, their day-to-day banking, right? So, for our next slide. Yeah. On top of that, CIMB Sme Banking, we really don't want to be the run-of-the-mill bank, right? Where we really want to provide solutions that go beyond just lending and being a custodian of business funds, right? So we actually form partnerships with very established tech providers in the country, right? Today we have 7 partners providing 6 solutions, working with CIMB and giving exclusive offers, because this is our agenda. This SME partnership is basically built to help SMEs in Malaysia digitalize their business at the most affordable cost and in the most simplified manner, right? And we work with the best companies in the country to do that. And we'll briefly touch on 2 of our key partners that we are working very closely with both in 2020 as well as moving into this year. All right. So following slide. All right. So this is basically Shopmatic, one of our key partners. What is Shopmatic, right? Shopmatic is an e-commerce platform that enables SMEs of all sizes, to build and scale their businesses, build an online web store at only RM3 ringgit per month hosting fee. All right, and they have several packages if you see on your screen, right? And this Shopmatic provides the end-to-end ecosystem, right, for you to successfully sell online. Because if you can see, it's fully integrated with all the biggest marketplaces in our country, right, including the likes of Lazada, Shopee, Facebook Marketplace, Instagram, and all that. So through one platform, you can actually manage your store on all these marketplaces through one single dashboard. And in addition, it's a drag and drop website, so it's very simple, very intuitive, easy to use. You can use it. You can access your dashboard through tablets, through your mobile phone, through your website. It's integrated with logistic players as well, like Easy Parcel, and there's a payment gateway, and you can actually have a single dashboard, like I mentioned, to manage everything. So if you look at the packages, what Shopmatic is offering, right, they actually have a 30% off across all the annual packages, 3 months and 6 months packages as well. Sorry, it's a bit technical issue here. Yeah, so on top of that, you can, like I mentioned, if you don't want to subscribe to any of the package, you can actually go on a transaction model where the monthly fee is RM0, right? There's no charges except the 3 ringgit to host. So it's really cost effective. And on top of that, we one of the things we realized is it's not enough to just set up, to work with the solution provider. We actually have to handhold a lot of the SMEs, especially the micro entrepreneurs, right, on how to actually get started with selling online through Shopmatic. And throughout last year, we actually hosted monthly webinars, right, and we worked with a lot of associations similar to yours on how to get them to continue their business when the pandemic really when there was a full-on lockdown and we could not actually a lot of businesses in the brick and mortar space could not sell. So I think Farah, who's my colleague who's on the line, has handled these projects, right? And we've helped some of the really small micro entrepreneurs, housewives, actually get started. In a matter of months, they started selling their businesses online. And there's a lot of good case studies, and it's good for us that we can actually contribute and create a meaningful impact for the SME community, especially those in the micro enterprises that were really affected by the pandemic right? And we will continue to do the same. So you can actually see the QR code. You can actually scan the QR code and sign up for some of the webinars. We hope to see you at the webinars in 2021. All right. Next slide. Yeah. Secondly, another major partner that we mentioned is Business HR. All right. Business HR is basically a cloud-based HR platform, a HR software that allows both the employers and employee to manage all your HR management on the go. Again, through your app, through your web, there's an app base, so you can actually, employees can actually receive their payroll, manage leave, submit their claims, do smart check-ins and all through the comforts of their home, through their mobile as well. So this has become really crucial, especially during this during the lockdown, during this ongoing work from home setup, right? A lot of businesses have realized how important it is to actually use cloud software so that they do not have to be in the office to manage all the back office processes, right? And this platform is built in such a way to really help businesses of all sizes. You see, RM, the way it's charged is priced dynamically. So at RM4 per employee, you can actually start using Business HR. So we have today customers with as little as 5 employees on Business HR, and we also have customers right up to 2,000 employees using Business HR. So as you scale, you go bigger, you just add on to your subscription package. And this was really enable small businesses and SMEs to digitalize their business in a simplified and cost-effective manner. And on similar to Shopmatic, we also do webinars where we will show demo, we will show some case studies on how we have helped businesses digitalize their business, not just their distribution channel, but even their back office through Business HR. All right. Thanks. Yes. And then lastly, I'll just cover 2 upcoming campaigns that we have, right? Deposit campaigns. This is the CIMB Digital Smart Deposit Campaign, which is catered for sole proprietors and partnerships. Basically, just open an Islamic business current account, an online business current account, and deposit a minimum of 10,000 ringgit. You'll be entitled up to 0.7% interest on your deposits, right? In addition, if you sign, once you activate your biz channel at CIMB, your online banking with us, you'll get 6 months fee waiver on monthly user subscription, as well as all your transaction fees, which include intrabank and IBG fund transfer. And remember I mentioned the partners that we have. Part of this campaign, we are promoting 3 partners, which is Shopmatic, Business HR, and Easy Parcel, where if you sign up for any of these one partner, you'll be given an RM20 Lazada e-voucher. So this will be coming in February, launching in first Feb, and you'll be running throughout the entire of this year. All right. And this is another one, another campaign that we have. All right. This is CIMB Save More campaign, which is catered more towards Sdn Bhd and LLPs. Right. So the threshold for the HIBA is a little bit on the higher side. You open a business current account, an Islamic current account, and deposit a minimum of 30,000, you will be entitled to up to 0.8% HIBA, right? And similar to the other campaign, you also be given a 6 months fee waiver. And this is because we, along with Bank Negara, we want to, really promote online banking, right? And deter our customers as much as possible from going to the branches, especially during this period, right? So this campaign is going to be launched in first Feb as well, but it's only going to be run for 6 months. And there's also a bonus reward for this campaign if the customer deposit 50,000, right, and keep your money in the bank with us for 3 months consecutively, we'll be giving out coffee, a Nescafe Dolce Gusto coffee machine that's worth RM599, right, in 2 cycles. So keep a lookout on these campaigns. We are in the midst of preparing it. We can't wait to launch it in the 1st of Feb, and we hope we hope that you'll be part of our campaigns as well as some of the webinars that we'll be launching in 2021. We hope we can work together with all of you, especially when it comes to digitalization of your business as well. Right, Farah?
Give me a second, yeah?
Yeah. So these are some of the exclusive offers that we have. Like I mentioned, this is we call this a CIMB Sme Banking Experience. We really want to do more than just what a typical bank would do. And yeah, please feel free to drop in your questions. If you want to know more about the webinar, Farah, can you actually drop in the SME partners email into the chat box so that the participants can actually contact us regarding the webinar or any of our partner solutions?
Yeah, sure, of course. And I just want to quickly remind everyone here who's participating in this webinar today that these webinars are absolutely free. So it will be very, very beneficial for everyone here to just come and join our webinars and just attend and see what more you can do with your businesses by using our partners platforms like Shopmatic and Business HR. And like what Jonathan has already shared with everyone earlier, right? We have already helped a lot of businesses whether micro or SME or whether mid-tier, these solutions are holistic, and I believe that it can be used throughout any businesses. So if you are, you're interested to join, I will drop our email and our website so you guys can, check out more. And if you have any questions, do let us know inside the chat box, and we're looking forward to hearing and having you join our webinars. Thank you.
There's a question actually. Do we wait till the end of the session to address it, or can we answer the question regarding Shopmatic?
We can wait, Jonathan.
All right.
We wait till the end because I
Yeah.
believe after your sessions there might be a lot of questions. So for the benefit of all the participants, we will do it towards the end.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So
Thank you, Jonathan.
back to you. Thanks.
Thank you, Farah. Thank you to CIMB Bank for sharing with us on your TRRF programs and also the holistic suite of the SME partner solution. That was an additional thing from CIMB today. We did not expect that. I think that is something that is good for all the SMEs. And I think all the SMEs who are here should leverage on this holistic suite of the SME partner solution. I believe there will be a lot of questions coming in regarding this holistic suite. And we will take it on to the next last session during the Q&A. Without further ado, since we're running out of time, we will expedite with the last speaker, Ms. Sangeeta Krishna from the CGC, to focus on the BIS Mula for the startups as well as the BIS Vanita products for the women entrepreneurs. And both these funds are actually the Bank Negara funds that has been allocated by Bank Negara. And we would be expecting Miss Sangeeta to take over now. Miss Sangeeta? You are muted.
Hi Nivas, good morning. Good afternoon. Nivas, I'm having difficulties to share my slides. Will you able to assist me on that?
Yes, we'll do that. You can see. So there, check. Yes, he came already.
Okay, thank you, Nivas. Firstly, I'd like to thank you, Nivas and KL Selangor Indian Chamber for inviting CGC to be a part of this today's talk, and for all other participants, Happy New Year. Okay, firstly, let me introduce myself. I'm Sangeeta Krishna. I'm from CGC. I'm representing Kuala Lumpur territory, Kuala Lumpur branch. Okay, I believe that many of you still wondering who is CGC, what is CGC? Yes, let me give you a short briefing on CGC. CGC is a subsidiary of Bank Negara. What we have, we give guarantees for financial industries, FIs, and we also have our own funds. Okay. Besides that, we also give CGC developmental program. In layman terms, it's like a training for SME companies. And we also have our own SME first online referral platform for SMEs to obtain financing. I'll be detailing on this later part in our throughout this presentation. Next. Okay, here today, I would like to Okay, here today, why I'm here, I would like to talk about our startup program, startup funds. We have BIS Mula and BIS Wanita. So these funds are for businesses less than 4 years, companies for less than 4 years. And the financing amount is 300,000. Can we go to next slide? Okay, who are eligible for this? Basically, if you're looking at this slide, some of you will be getting a bit wondering, reading at it and everything. So let me give a very layman terms. We can give financing up to 300,000. So your question next will be, how old am I should be? The director, the key person or the sole prop must be more than 21 years old and maximum 60 years old. Then he or she must be Malaysian control. Malaysia is NRI, you need to be a Malaysian citizen, and the business must be registered in Malaysia. Okay, next. This is the most people will be asking, oh, I just started my business. Can I apply for this BIS Mula or BIS Wanita? Okay, this BIS Mula and BIS Wanita, the difference, the eligibility criteria is similar. It just BIS Mula is for everyone, while this BIS Wanita is for female entrepreneurs, those who are women in the business. Okay. So why, if your business is very new, you just started your business, and if you're eligible or not, we will say that case to case, because this will be, if you're doing a franchising business, you're having, like for example, a petrol station, you're buying a petrol station and you're looking for working capital, so we'll consider it. But if you're totally new, for example, you're in a manufacturing of bottle and you're just 1 month old, then we will be unable to process this. So we need at least 1 year business and 6 months active bank statement. So many of you will be, like Jonathan was explaining earlier, current account and so on. Many of you here, when you start a business, there will be no any current account there. We need you to have a current account. Why we need current account? From your current account, if your business is 1 year, I believe that you are unable to see how your profit goes, what is your sales like and everything. With your current account, you can actually measure what is your sales, what is your income every month, income daily. As we as bankers, that is confidence. We can see your business transaction. So that's the basic requirement. We need you to have a current account. Next, I think earlier Teresa was talking about previous slide, sorry. Teresa was talking about secrets and so on. All that also will be looking at your secrets. So in companies, basically, if more than 4 years or less than 4 years, you might not have any other facilities. But we will look at your director and so the proprietor's secrets, conduct of account, how is your repayment and so on. So it's very important for you to have a good conduct for account. Next, also CTOS. There will be certain, of course, CTOS, when you talk about CTOS, there is a lot of, it's very subjective. It's very subjective. So some of them will be wondering whether if I have some minimal charges, maybe with Maxis, can I eligible to apply? Yes, we can, but it's case to case. We will look at it, why it happened and so on. But if you've been charged by another company for your related company or some other major adverse finding there, then it surely will be no. Okay, most of the customers already register in, already start the business.
Hi, just hang on, guys. Miss Sangeeta has lost her connection. She is coming back. Yeah, I think she's lost connection. Hi, Sangeeta, are you there?
Can you hear me? Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
sorry for the internet instability. Okay, so next, this is what we were talking about the product earlier. So those, like, if your business is less than 4 years, that is in my business less than 4 years, more than 1 year. Yes, we have 6 months current account bank statement is active, and you are of repayments for your personal borrowing. Okay, besides funding, besides loan, this platform called iSME. What we have in iSME? In iSME, we have, if you just launch, you have a business and you doesn't know where to, you're going to, how to apply for loan, who are the bankers, what kind of facilities eligible. What you need to do, you just click to this website iSME, register your company there. From there, it will match what your business is and match what is the funding available. We also have peer-to-peer, we have commercial banks, we have commercial banks like Maybank, CIMB, Alliance Bank, all of them are also participating with iSME. So it will directly link to you for which funder is suitable to you and what kind of financing you can apply. So this will be, with this platform, you no need to walk into every branches or Google for funding, and I think this will be very straightforward and very much easier. Next. Okay. Okay, this is about iSME. Okay, if you want to know how to apply iSME, how to go through for iSME, you just need 4 steps. Give us some information like what business you're doing, what is your business, this one, then register, Then from there, upon you register, they will have giving you a compartment, what kind of facility you're looking for, which bank you are interested to. So from there, you compare and you choose. That's all. Then the bank will be calling you. The representative from the bank, each bank will be calling you and advising you on the next stage. I think this will be very much easier for you. Next. Okay. Next. Next. Okay. Okay. Besides that, we have talked about product, we have talked about our platform, ISME platform, and what else CGC do. Okay, like I mentioned earlier, we do give funding. Like we CGC, we don't only give funds for businesses just because to get our profit, our repayment. We want to develop our customer. Every single customer of you, all the new entrepreneurs are here, we are looking a bright future for them. So what we do? First, we give them financial assistance. Then we will grow them by our mentoring program, market access, and what here in layman terms, what we do here. We have a lot of in-house trainings for the customers, for our SME customers. We have like a, for example, last 2 years, actually not last year, the 2019, we were giving a lot of online trainings for our customers. Each customers able, those who are able to attend the trainings, managed to do online business. They know how to do online business. We have some of the customers, in fact, benefited a double growth in their sales by participating in our trainings. What else we do? We also bring you to participate in hypermarkets. We will help you to, like for example, you are trading some food related material and you want to enroll supermarket or hypermarket, you want to promote your product there, we will help you. We will do a pairing. We also have our events where you can meet your traders and everything. We have events. We bring you to participate in our trade exhibition. We previous years, of course not last year, we have events in like Thailand, China, and everything. We bring our customer to participate in trade exhibition there. We subsidize their costs and so on. From there, our customer benefit to access the overseas market and also to build their relationship there. That's our what we do. So like I said, we develop our customers, we give them some financial, to grow their business. Then from there, we also give other programs. For us, we want to see all of y'all to be a successful. Our policy is in CGC, our policy is not only to give you money and to give you fund and make sure and see that you are stable in your financial. We want you to grow. We want all our SME customers soon or one day become a successful entrepreneur, to maybe to be in listed companies. So that's our intention is. Next. Okay. And where CGC are. Every state in Malaysia, we have our branches. We have one in Johor Bahru, one in Johor Bahru, we have Johor Bahru and Batu Pahat. We have in Melaka, we have Seremban. Main branch is in Kelana Jaya. We have in Kuala Lumpur. We have in Ipoh and Price. So if you are from different states, your question will be, do I need to call you Miss Sangeeta? No. If, for example, you're from Ipoh, you can walk into our Ipoh branch and you can get details on CGC. And our recent product is BIS Micro. BIS Micro, okay. However, this package is offered to customers who within 15 kilometers from our branches. For example, my office is in Wangsa Maju. So customers who have businesses premises within 15 kilometers, they can apply for this BIS Micro. The funding, the total amount facility is 1,000 up to 10,000. This is to focus very micro SMEs. So if you are in somewhere nearby to our branches, like for example, Ipoh branches, and your location is 15 kilometers, you can call us to get details on the BIS Micro. This BIS Micro is a very new product of us. So next, I believe the info I give will be sufficient for you. If you have more queries or anything, you can always call me at my mobile 014-3210-779. Or you can walk into our office at KL branch at Pusat Bandar Wangsa Maju. Thank you so much. I pass to Nivas.
Hi, thank you, Ms. Sangita. Thank you for your presentation on BIS Mula and as well as BIS Vanita, as well as CGC services that is provided to all the SMEs and micro entrepreneurs. Okay, we have come to the most important session now, the Q&A session, where we will actually have questions open and inquiries open from all the respective participants. We have got some coming in, and we have the first participant. I think before we go further, I will address the chat inquiries from Mr. Sandera Silvadure. His question is to CIMB on is the minimum eligibility of 500k turnover applies to sole prop or private limited company. Ms. Teresa?
Yeah, hi. For sole prop, our maximum eligible amount is 250,000. The rest of the business constitution is up to 500,000.
Okay, I think that answers Mr. Sandira's questions. Next one is to Farah and Jonathan. If a company is providing advisory services, can they sign on and market their services through Shopmatic? Jonathan, Farah?
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Am I audible? Yes, you can actually do that. Even though it's primarily a e-commerce store, it's not just limited to selling products. You can set up your website to promote your services through Shopmatic as well.
So basically, a company that is doing advisory can actually adapt to these services, right?
Yes.
Okay. So Mr. Sam, I think it answers your question. Next question is, I think to both all the three panelists, is construction and agriculture part of the sectors that is under the CRRF or CGC, BIS Mula or BIS Vanita? Can I have firstly Ms. Teresa first to address this?
Okay, just let me share for agriculture sector. It is not. It is something that we actually wanted to participate in. In fact, we actually last year we have launched agro fund financing. Okay, at a very interesting interest rate of 4% only. Okay, so this is open to the primary agriculture up to if you are producing the agriculture produce from our primary, you are actually eligible to apply for this financing. So this is under guarantee by SJPP. So if you're interested, do engage our sales team.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Teresa. How about construction?
Unfortunately, for construction, currently it is we are not open SME financing for construction sector as yet. So we will come back to you if we have changes on this.
Okay, Sangita, can you address on the agriculture and construction sectors?
Okay, firstly, for your info, we don't have any restriction on any industry. We open up, we do construction. On the agriculture, it depends on what kind of business it is, because when it comes to agriculture, we will always recommend our customers to go agro bank, because agro bank have their own packages and are subsidized and everything. So construction, yes, they can apply with us. Agriculture, yes, we don't have restriction, but the AR approval will be a bit more tougher because we need to do more other assessment as well. Is that clear, Mas?
Yeah, okay. I think I got it clear. So basically, agriculture, you're mentioning it is not covered at the moment.
No, it's not to say not covered, but we will need to look case to case. Like for example, you're going to, how to say, you have a paddy field, you're just going to start up another paddy field and everything, because you must look at agro bank, because government have a lot of other incentive, like agro banks have better interest rate and everything. So we in CGC, we always recommend to other incentive which can offer a better packaging and a better rate. So like Teresa was telling, CIMB also have their own packages and everything. So we will recommend to that, because in CGC, our comprehensive for looking at agriculture will be more tougher, but it's not a no to that. So, but construction, yes, we do.
Okay, I think that answers Mr. Margaret Mengadasalam's question. For agriculture, you can approach CIMB, and for construction, you can approach CGC.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, then I have a question to the panelists. A question just came in Facebook here. If their application is rejected during the SRF, can they apply for TRRF? Can I start with Teresa?
Yes, because the requirement is as long as you're non-recipient for SRF or any Penjana scheme.
If during the rejection, the rejection is due to the bankability or some secrecy issue, then probably in the month of June, it's now January. So normally secrecy, you have your record for past 12 months.
12 months,
right?
yeah.
Right. So basically, in this kind of circumstances, will the new applicant able to obtain a loan if past 6 months the record has been clean and recovered?
It depends on how what is the status at point of the rejection. So yeah, do come to us and let's have a look at the latest performance of the company.
Okay. Okay, can I open the floor for other questions? I think there's another question to Mr. Jaya, from Mr. Jaya. How if the company under tourism sector, for example, hotel, was temporarily closed for business during COVID and due to financial constraint, this business is less than a year, eligible for any type of capital loan with CIMB or CGC? Probably, Ms. Teresa?
Well, we can consider under the Penjana tourism financing.
Okay.
So currently business is closed. Is there any plan to revive or to rejuvenate the business?
I think Mr. Jaya, you would like to speak now? Hi, Jaya.
Okay, Mr. Jaya, maybe you can leave your contact here. I can get our team to engage with you.
Okay, that'll be good. I think Teresa will take that note. Okay, the next question is, I think Margaret, the Penjana funds are already exhausted, I think some banks. So you need to try currently on the TRRF funds.
What is the TRRF funds? They are government funds also? Are they funds from MOF to the banks?
Okay, I'll explain this. This is a Bank Negara allocated funds, which is allocated up to $2 billion, 2 billion ringgit, allocated to all the private financial institutions. And this is guaranteed by SJPP and CGC. Am I right to say, Puan Masliza? Okay, so 2 billion is allocated to at least 20 private financial institutions.
These are these will be sent out as loans, given out as loans. Loans,
yes.
huh?
Yes, yes, definitely. It's given out as loans.
These are not grants. These are all loans.
No, today our session is basically on financing products, which is basically it's a loan. Yeah.
Which is repayable.
Yeah, it is repayable. Definitely, it's repayable. Okay, then the other questions
are at 4%, 3.5%.
That's right. TRRF is 3.5%.
And it covers all other costs also, like if there's credit guarantee charges, etc. It covers all those costs. At 3.5%.
I think Puan Masliza, you can advise on this.
So 3.5% is actually including the bank's interest as well as the guarantee fees. So you just pay back to the bank the installments at 3.5% interest. Yes.
Yeah, so that's it. One fee, one cost. Okay.
Yes,
right.
I believe so. Unless maybe Teresa, is there any additional fees that they have, maybe stamping fees or anything that they have to do for TRF?
Yeah, that it will be a stamping fees. That is the fees that actually charged by the stamp office. Then we will charge back to you on a back-to-back basis.
There's a stamping fee for, at this point in time, that the government is charging for assisting people. What kind of rate is that? Is there a special rate for the stamp fees? Is it
I
on
think
board?
for I
Value?
think for stamping fees is generally it's a standard fee that's actually applied for all sorts of facilities agreement, either whether or not it's COVID or not COVID. If I'm not mistaken, maybe there was
Can I
some
interrupt here?
exemption
The reason
for
is,
SRF.
it depends. If it's on value, then you're talking about a different kind of stamp fee. If it is a nominal sum, like $10, I mean the nominal sums where you do pay stamp fee, but it's 10 ringgit, etc. That's a difference. So I want to know
Yes.
whether this is on value. If I take a $250,000 funding, I have to pay how many percent on 250,000? That is a cost that we will have to bear, right?
So I think for this, what you can do is when you actually speak to your bank officer, then they will actually state out what are all the costs related to get the final facilities agreement settled and disbursed. And then you can actually see that when it comes to the interest rate, they will only charge you a maximum of 3.5%. That is including the bank's interest as well as the guarantee
Guarantee
fees
charges.
inside. Mm.
Right. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Margaret. I think I have some question for Ms. Sangita. Sangita, there is a question. If the company, this question is from Mr. Selvaraju Horikrishna. The company without any track record, would they get the Bismillah loan if they have a good business proposal? They have a good proposal,
Okay.
and also they have a potentially a new contract to be obtained from government or non-government bodies, something in hand. Can they obtain a CGC Bismillah loan up to 300,000?
Okay, track record in the sense of, is the business is new or they don't have any
New,
borrowing?
less than 1 year, right?
Less than 1 year, if more than 6 months, they have bank statement before that.
Okay, we need. I'll get the person in charge to
Okay,
talk to you.
just Nivas to brief on this question. If as long they have 6 months bank statement active, they still can apply for the loan. So if 6 months in, and if the answering to track record like business new 6 months in business, they can apply. But and if their question is no any borrowing, do they can apply? Yes, they can apply.
So your question, I mean, your answer is yes, this company can apply for this Bismillah, right?
If they have 6 months active bank transactions.
Okay, active. Is there any minimum turnovers?
Because like, for example, construction business, they have job in past and everything. We can see some track record of job ongoing and so on. So from there, we can look at the business capacity. Yes, we can propose.
Suppose there is no track record, but there is a contract in hand, something legitimate. Can the bank finance based on the contract?
Actually, this is case to case. We need to look at what it is and everything. So
We will get the
Mr.
applicants to
Silaraja can
directly
call
contact
me.
you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much on that. And can we
I
have
have
other
one
questions?
question. Excuse
Yes,
me. Hello.
yeah, Margaret.
Yeah.
Yes. It says also in the title of this program that it's startups. What do we mean by startups? Here I'm looking at somebody who needs funding. I know of, who's discussing with me for to set up a business to promote spices. They have not yet set up an enterprise. Okay, so now would they fall under the category of startups, or are you talking about already established? And how new would they have to be, or how old would they have to be?
Okay. Hi, Miss Margaret. Okay, thanks for the questions. Yes, I do understand your concern when you say startup. What kind of fund you're looking at? But bear in mind, when we give this as a loan where you need to still pay installment and so on. So my question here is, isn't it a risk for you to apply a loan and to look at the repayment? You're having a commitment there before the business start. So it's like a two-way thing. Is if you're applying for a loan, yes, if the business is good, the business is good, the commitment can be, I mean, you can settle the commitment. If anything happened, like for example, pandemic hit us, there are customers who just started business somewhere last year in March, suddenly pandemic hit them. When they have a loan, it's a hassle for them. It's like burdening for them. So like we CGC, why we need at least 6 months? We actually look at least 1 year business ongoing, so that we will know, you will know your capacity, how much loan you can do, how much commitment you can pay, what kind of commitment. At the same time, we CGC, we doesn't want you to be burdened with our loan. We want to help you to develop. So in case with our commitment, with our loan repayment, we don't want that hits you. So this is our concern is. So that's why we say startup means we need you to have at least some you already play in the industry, see what is your profit like, how you can grow and so on. So after that, we can work together.
Okay, thank you. But this whole funding is not available for, I mean, it's normal what we talk about startups, where, you know, the incubation, the setting up, the growing and all that. This has nothing to do with that kind of activities, right? I just want to understand that. This fund that we are talking about.
Okay. Ms. Margaret, if it depends on the industry. If, for example, you're opening a kindergarten with a branch is under same franchising as a UQDs or something, and you want us to finance on the renovation or the startup and everything, we will consider. But that depends on your experience. We need the director or the proprietor to have at least 2 years experience in why they need to do the startup. But if you're totally in a trading or manufacturing industry, then we need at least to have 6 months, minimum 6 months active bank transaction.
We already have to have started something before we can approach you all. That is what you're saying, right? I mean, there must be.
Yes, Miss Margaret. Something like the market already access to the industry, so we know what is the capacity like. So what is the business proceed will be. So that's how we can judge you.
Because you did mention, okay, I'll just take 1 more minute. You did mention that, you know, those who want to be able to go to market, you will also have like hand holding to connect to supermarkets or to other, you know, outlets and all that, in terms of putting out the products and getting some form of platform to market their products. I thought I heard that from you.
Yeah, correct. That's for our existing customer.
That also must be an established organization, not somebody who is going to start trying out their product on a promotional basis to see whether it will be viable to actually go into business. You are talking about already gone in, but not people who have potential, who intend to go in. That's what you're saying. I just want to be clear on this.
Okay, Ms. Margaret, thanks for that. Okay, like for example, you need to be our customer first, then we will help you to go into the market. Like earlier I said to you, when you in business, you already have some market, you already have your customers list, easier for us to go and approach the hypermarket as well. Again, why we need our customer? We say, hey, their customer have a track record, repayment is good. They already have their customers. Their product is already been picked up. That's when hypermarket also will accept you. And I believe with some of the hypermarket also, when they're going to promote your product, they have some ratings for shelf rating and so on. Also say they have some charges. So all this, before we speak to the hypermarkets, we need to bring a strong, we need to have something little bit background. We are not saying that you need to have a sales of 1 million. You already have a developed business. You already have an established business. We're not saying that, but we need something to talk about. That's our concern here.
Okay, this is to support their business. Okay, I understand. Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Margaret. Is there any other questions from the panelists, from the participants?
Nivas, I think there is one query here about guarantee fees charged for ISME.
Yeah, can CGC share whether it's a guarantee fee charged?
ISME is a platform, anyone can apply. There's no any charges. But when you talk about if you are referring to our product, our fund, do we have interest rate? Yes, we have. For BIS Mula, our interest rate is 7% currently, and for BIS Wanita is 6.8%.
Okay, thank you. We had about good 40 over participants earlier today. It was reaching at 60 earlier. And Facebook, we have about 20 over. So now Do we have any participants from the tourism sector? You may want to ask questions that benefit the tourism sector.
Can you hear me?
Okay, how about yeah, Jaya, is it?
Yeah, can you can hear me, right?
Yes, yes, carry on.
Okay, we are from the hotel sector.
Okay.
Okay, since August, we have been applying for the SRF loans and all. I think I've put in application to 6 banks. So since we are a startup company, so all the banks got us rejected. So that's why I posed the question there. If we are closed for 6 months, when you say active bank statements, what are you looking at? Transactions, money coming in, going out, sales? Because of course, every month we have a bank statement, but what are you looking into it? We don't have a sales.
So, Miss Jaya, do you have is there any plan to reopen or to revive the business in near future?
Yes, we are opening coming Friday. We are opening in Jan. Yes, the business is open. But of course, ever since we started the business, we started last year, December 29th. Our opening was on 29th. And we were in business for January, February, and mid-March. So after March, for 3 months, we were closed. And from July onwards, we are closed for 6 months due to financial constraint. And during this time, we have put in a lot of applications, query to the banks. And then most of the bank, Public Bank, Hong Leong Bank, CGC as well, SME, BSN, Tekun, all got us rejected because there's no sufficient transaction in the bank. You must understand this COVID time and tourism sector is down, and we only had transaction showing from January, February, and mid-March. Only these 2.5 to prove our financial strength.
So it will be open under the same hotel, same
Yes.
modus operandi.
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, Miss Jaya.
Hi.
Okay, sorry. I mean, I think yes, for now, if there is a no sales, if you're not our existing customer in CGC, we have our own SRF, which we give to our existing customer. While if you're under tourism, I think we'll direct you to bank, commercial banks, because we also work with commercial bank on TRF, and so on. So that's the idea is. So you're saying that you apply with CGC, even CGC have declined your application. Okay. This is how we as a bankers, we look at you at it, Jaya, because sometimes when you apply for the loan, like I told to Margaret earlier, we want to see whether our loans gonna be burdening for you or not, because it's already you already low in sales and so on. So with our loans, you will need to pay a moratorium for now. So our loan finance will be another for you. We don't want to make things worse, become you unable to pay. Then
You're breaking up. I can't hear you. Sorry.
Or anything happen. So that's our concern is.
Yeah, can you revert back again what you mentioned earlier? The connection went off.
Okay. Okay. What is that? If for example, you Jaya was telling to me just now, CGC decline and everything. CGC, we have our SRF for our existing customers. While for the non-existing customer, we usually will refer them back to commercial banks where their home branch is to apply for TRF facility, and earlier was under SRF on with their representative bank. For now, for us to take you and give you a loan, you're saying that there is no business. Our concern here is this is a loan, you will be very committed with our repayment and so on. We don't want to make things worsen your situation by having you to have repayment every month because we don't have any moratorium for new loans. So that will be an extra burden for you. We are afraid this loan will burden you further. Yes, we do understand. Next question for you is, if you're not giving me any assistance, I can't diversify, I can't do anything.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
yes, but the thing is, diversification, what will happen, whether the diversification will be positive or not, this loan will be suffocated for you during that particular time. We are more concerned about your conduct of account so that you can apply for other facilities, like for example, like some of government, like they announce for the tourism packages or something. So we don't want to jeopardize your secrets so that you can apply for this other initiative in future. That's our concern. That's the reason we don't look at application. We don't have any business sales for the present.
Sangeeta, thank you very much. I know the concern is, I mean, all bankers have these concerns, saying that this loan facility is going to, burden us. But first and foremost, I don't understand one thing. If all this webinar is about helping out this tourism industry, the one most suffering industry is tourism industry for now. Not only, there's 11,000 hotels here in KL itself. So every one of them are suffering. We don't have any tourists. We can't depend on locals. Tourism, the foreigners are the main people contributing to this. With that, you all are coming up with all this. Bank Negara has been announcing day after day that they're going to help out the tourism sectors and all that. But any one of these banks has never given me, they asked me for all the documents. We are very transparent. We have provided them all the documents, but not even one bank would write in to us to say that our loan has been declined. Even to get a decline letter that the loan has been declined, we have to request. We put in application, written application, but they don't even give you a reply. We have to follow up. This kind of issues is going on. So my concern here is, if the banks, they are not going to help us out, who else is going to help us? Here you're all talking about 10 billion is given out, 20 billion is given out. We don't see a single dollar coming in. If you can't give me, if I'm asking for 300,000 or I'm asking for 500,000, if you can't give me 500,000, the burden of 500,000 me repaying the debt is huge. But you can at least facilitate me with whatever documents that I get, something, rather than nothing, zero. And I don't know how you all keep saying that it is for tourism. It is to help out the tourism factor. I mean, this is my issue here. Teresa, I'm sure you understand, and Mazlina as well. I mean, I don't mind getting it from the banker or from SJPP or CGC, but somebody has to help us out in this case.
Jaya, do you have any diversification plans in tourism?
No, we are going to stick to the hotel industry. Our expertise is in that industry, so we are just going to take that up. And we believe that it will be good. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you, Miss Jaya. I can actually hear, and we also get calls from SMEs in terms when they talk about the frustration and so forth. And in fact, when I went for the soft launch of Pembiayaan Tourism Financing, so there was also a lot of the presidents from Malaysia Association of Hotel Operators. They're also saying that it's not just about it's also about trying to get the help that they need, not just that, even people like in other types of services and industry as well. And what's happening to you, what I can hear is that your timing also was not fortunate, you see, because you started the business in December and January, February, and that's it. You didn't even have time to actually collect enough track record. That was timing, and that what makes it hard. And I'm trying to look at it from both perspectives, in the sense that, okay, I mean, as SJPP one, we are ultimately we just a special purpose vehicle. So this is the initiative that the government has done, was Pembiayaan tourism financing facility, but it was also coming in with a few other requirements or criteria, and that it's not just for new hoteliers like you, it's also for new businesses that just opened, a restaurant that just opened in January. It was all about a timing thing. And your same grievance has also been highlighted. Some feedback was also given at the engagement dialogue. It was a tourism minister was there actually, together with a lot of the representatives from the banks. So talking about how to actually further help the tourist industry. I think in your case, it's not just because you're also a hotelier, it was also about the timing, and a lot of banks or even lending agencies, they do require a minimum of 6 months. They need something. So I can understand on your side it was a timing thing. On the banks and on CGC side, it's about I still need track record, because they need to substantiate the credit application. They need to do that. So it's actually quite at the crossway as well. That's why Teresa and Sangeeta was asking you, okay, what are the plans? Because there's a lot of companies as well that had a good track record, but suddenly with the lockdown, that 6 months, nothing, zero, no income. They couldn't do that. Also, they face issues in trying to get credit applications. But in their case, what the banks did was look into what actually happened before COVID. So they had enough traction on that. What I don't know, what I could suggest. I mean, in terms of the boundaries and limitations of what SJPP can do, like I mentioned, we are more of a implementation agency that was announced, and then this is what we need to execute. And we have a lot of SMEs that have also taken up the Penjana tourism financing facility. So when I speak to some of the newer companies, when they say, yes, they went to you, but they keep trying in terms of other banks. Maybe it's BSN, maybe the smaller banks that are willing, that have a higher risk profile, that will help you. But I also heard that SME Bank rejected you,
Yeah.
Madam?
Yes.
SME Bank also is not normally willing to take on a more high risk, but if they have rejected you, one thing is also to, if they can give you.
Sorry to interrupt you. When I say rejected, SME Bank, they were supposed to visit the premises, and then they're supposed to come up
Yes,
with a proposal and everything. And
yes.
all of a sudden, they just said that is rejected. I mean, whoever I was dealing with, the salesperson, and all of a sudden said, yours didn't go through because you didn't have strong credit. When I said we have started in December, the company itself is started in 2018 December. 2018
Okay,
December,
2018 December. So you
and
had
then
1 year lah.
1 year, but during that 1 year, this business has not taken off. There's no sales. There is only, we are refurbishing the hotel for the 1 year.
Renovation, and
Yes.
then marketing and things like that lah.
So we don't have any incoming sales then, except for our working capital coming in. So that transaction will show. But starting from December 29th, 2019, up to mid-March, the sales came by because we have opened and we did the sales.
So the launch, like the opening, was actually, when was it?
It was 29th of December 2019.
Oh, again, yeah, not
Yeah.
enough.
So even I have a track record up to now is already 2 years, but my sales in showing in the bank statement will be only for January and February and mid-March. Only these two and a half months, which is not my fault. So based on whatever my paid up capital, because you see, we have invested a good amount of money into this hotel. Without the help of this financial institution, how are we supposed to go by? I mean, that's our question. We have invested so much of money in them. Our Arthur, I mean, you just say we have put in 5 million. And because of the working capital is not there, we can't progress further.
And this 5 million was injected by more of shareholders' funds, or did you get any loan for this 5 million?
Yeah, I'm just giving you a figure there, sample figure. So of course, this is all from shareholders. But without the working capital for the future, I mean, just say for next 1 year, starting from 2021, what am I to do? I mean, this is where the financial institution should help us out. I mean, based on whatever we have, the assets we have, the paid up capital we have for the company, the financial institution, instead of just looking at the transaction alone, is there any other intangible things that you can look at and do us a favor? I mean, grant us something?
Well, normally, other than the repayment capacity, when they look in terms of your, your debt service repayment, they look in terms of your gearing ratio. They also look in terms of your tangible net worth. So what are the assets that you have in the company, that could actually substantiate the amount that you're actually applying for? And with the case of, like, for example, like, using government guarantee scheme is when you don't have the reason why the banks are asking for collateral is this: when you default, they got something to liquefy, to liquidate, to uplift, so that's why I'm thinking, what about your actual balance sheet position, whether your tangible net worth, is it at a positive, at a high positive, something that they could, in a way, you can actually offer it as a collateral, your own collateral.
How say if we don't have a collateral?
That is the problem. When it comes to the bank, when they want to lend it, it's two things. One, they will always ask, when they ask you for all this information, it's about whether can you pay them back. Because, banks, by having default, they need to report to Bank Negara if there is a default, if there is a non-performing loan. Okay, their business is different. Their business is also about, it's highly regulated. It's about how they manage the incoming money, interest they receive from the deposits and investments versus the interest and the lending that they pay out. Because they also have stakeholders that they have to that are accountable for. So they cannot just simply lend out. They actually lend out other people's money. This is what banks do actually. They're lending out Bank Negara's money, they're lending out, the investment that we put in as normal people, companies put in the deposit. That's the banking industry. So if they just lend out to anyone who cannot substantiate the credit facility, they are not doing their work. They are not amanah, we call it. This is the, not amanah lah, but this is the business of banking, you see. So they have to lend responsibly. Now, when they lend out to you, they need to know that, can I actually get repayment from you? So when they see that, okay, your business, I'm just thinking, your business, you just very newly started, it's a timing thing, very unfortunate. And then you in the hotel industry, no income coming in. So that's why Sagita and Teresa was asking, okay, what's your future plan? So they want to see that, but again, it is still in the future. Do you have any collateral that they could use as a plan B, or you could offer them? I'm thinking, just out of the box, in terms of solution. Do you have any? I mean, has that discussion ever taken place, Ms. Jaya, with the bankers that you have met?
Yes, they did ask for collateral, but we don't.
They you
Yeah,
offer, or you don't have any
we
collateral?
don't have. Yeah, at the moment we don't have.
So
But
yeah.
based on the the company director's guarantee letter or anything like that, can they just help us out? I don't know.
Can I?
Well,
One
for
question.
SJPP, we do request for some corporate or
I think
directors
Ms.
guarantee.
Jaya, probably you can get the contact number of Puan Mas
Yeah.
Liza, Ms. Reza, and Ms. Sangida,
Yeah.
and take it on separately later after this.
Okay.
Because thanks, Niwas. Also, just to Miss Jaya, we need to understand the business in detail so we can advise you. So I think it's best you call us, because we need to know what is the purpose of financing as well. Because if it is to say no, exactly no. But if you have a good business plan, maybe you can convince us saying that this will be our plan for our diversification during this pandemic. We're going to do something, and you can comfort us. Why not? We can look at it, but exactly we need to see what is the plans are. If you're going to say the loans is to manage your operating expenses, to build up, that will be tough. So I think you can call me later. We can have a more discussion on this, Ms. Jaya.
Thank you so much, Gita. Thank you so much, Ms. Lina. Okay, yeah, we will get in touch.
Ms.
Yeah.
Jaya. Okay,
Thank
can
you.
we have other questions from the panel of participants? So can I just what do you call wrap up here? First thing is Teresa, the TRRF is still available in CIMB.
Yes.
At the moment, it's available.
Yes.
Any indication how much more available?
We have around 40 million balance, but
Okay.
the fund is on a first come first serve basis. So, do come to us quick.
So I suggest that all those participants who are here today, and also for the benefit of other participants who may view this video later, contact us at the chamber, and then we will guide you to these respective bankers like Puan Masliza from SJPP, Ms. Reza and Ms. Sangeeta, so that you can directly liaison with them and address your requirement and your business need, so that it can be addressed it immediately, and the available funds can be catered for your business. So let's see if there is any other. And also important note here, just now on Masliza, I think you highlighted about the scammers, right? So I believe I would like to address to all the participants and also others that please liaise with the right, I mean directly with the banker, without any intermediaries, without any consultants who are now very vastly available in the social media, who claims to be banks appointed consultants. You can contact the secretary of the chamber for further information of these respective bankers, and we will be able to assist everyone who comes to us, regardless of whether you're a member or not a member, and get your financing through the right channel, and do not get cheated by giving consultation fees upfront to an unknown party. So that is the most important scams that are happening today, because whenever there's an opportunity, there's also a lot of risk involved in the market. So very important advice, go directly to the banker. If you come to us in the chamber, we will assist you to guide you to the right bankers. So is there any other questions from the panelists? I mean, from the participants? I believe the session today was very much informative on addressing the TRRF and also the Penjana Tourism Fund, as well as the BIS Mula and BIS Wanita financing products of CGC for the SMEs, as well as for the micro entrepreneurs. So we thank all the panelists, Puan Masliza from SJPP, Ms. Teresa from CIMB, as well as Ms. Sangeeta from CGC for your time, and also Mr. Jonathan and Puan Farah from CIMB, who have shared with us something new on the holistic suites of SME partner solution of CIMB, which is much more an added advantage for all those SMEs who wants to enjoy CIMB products. I thank all the panelists and also all the participants who are here today, so that we can reconnect back in our next program. For the next program, we are having a next program. Can you see? On this Friday, we are having a program for micro entrepreneurs. We are liaising with Tekun National Officer, Mr. Balaguru, as well as we have another program next week, Tuesday, on the digitalization grant by MDAC. Next Tuesday. So these are our two upcoming programs that we are actually organizing this Friday and also next Tuesday. And please keep in touch with our KL Siki Facebook for further information on all the programs that we are actually organizing this month. As well as if you have any inquiries, contact us at KL Siki or email us. Our number is 0326931033, or our email address is enquiry@klsiki.com.my. Okay, thank you so much, and we will end the session now. Thank you, panelists, and thank you, participants. See you again.
Thanks very much.
Thank you, Nivas.
Bye.
Bye.
End meeting.